I've been in situations where I've been cuddling with people and that felt really great, and then they'll start kissing me, and that's okay and a little bit interesting, but not anything I'm crazy about. And then kind of anything more sexual than that just stops making sense to my body.
Let's go ahead and start at the very beginning.
Okay.
What is asexuality by definition?
So an asexual person is someone who doesn't experience sexual attraction. Okay. I don't feel an intrinsic desire to make sex a part of my relationships with other people. It's different than celibacy. Celibacy is a choice. Celibate people choose not to have sex. Asexual people aren't intrinsically drawn towards sex, but may or may not choose to have it.
Right. And you said it's a sexual orientation as opposed to a
romantic orientation. Yeah. So like many asexual people, I still have a romantic orientation. Asexual people can still want to form romantic relationships with men, with women, with men and women, with a whole wide range of genders. So those are people asexual and gay, asexual and bi, asexual and straight.
Right. So being asexual doesn't mean that you're completely orientation-less, right? Or relationship-less, for that matter. It's talking about different ways to connect with people that goes outside of the scope of sex.
When I was young, I used to be really intimidated by the fact that sex was everywhere, because it was like being in an alien world. Like, it's a language I don't speak. It's something I can't relate to.
Right.
And what I realized as I grew up and got more comfortable with my sexual identity is that it's great if everyone talks about sex. It's an experience everyone's having. We should be talking about it openly and honestly, and part of that means talking about the fact that it's not always fun. Not just for asexual
positive
people.
Asexual comes out right
exactly. Part of what we've done as the asexual community is figure out how to emotionally do everything that people do with sex without sex.
It seems to me that with this question of how to build relationships, David and the asexual community are hitting something that affects all human beings. I hypothesize that the difference is, for sexual people, we aren't required to confront that reality as head-on as asexuals are. Possibly because we have all of these sexual engagements, which are acting as both a buffer and a preoccupation from addressing that question.
I'm Glenn Ireland, I'm 21, and I'm asexual. People just think that we're not human. They assume that sexual attraction is just a human experience. About 2 years ago, there was someone that I was really interested in, and I really liked them a lot, but I realised that there was nothing remotely sexual about it. There was no interest there. It wasn't a good time in my life. Whenever I was interested in someone, it just wasn't there. I didn't think I was going to meet the right person to make it happen, and it just sort of clicked that it's not going to happen. I'm asexual. It's like everyone loves this thing and I just don't understand it, and it's just everywhere. People use it all the time to try and sell things. It's quite jarring to just see how invasive it is. I don't believe that there aren't enough asexual people around that I don't know anyone. I'm almost certain that a lot of people don't realise they're asexual because it's not spoken about enough yet. That's the thing that's needed the most, because it'll help people who are asexual realise that they're asexual. It'll give people who aren't sure, it'll give them confidence to make the decision for themselves. I feel a little bit lonely at times, just because, you know, everyone has the shared thing that I don't have. Even like the gay people, the bi people, they can still relate to each other. And I'm the one that's always asked questions about it, like, isn't that weird? Like, do you masturbate? And it can be a bit awkward at times being the only one who doesn't sort of fit in.
What's the state of our movement? I think we're in a place where the broader social discourse about sexuality is on the verge of being disrupted, somehow.
felt it, but not in. He liked it, but as he said, in his lecture sense, like it was a very interesting experience, I think, but obviously not the way of experience.
Por lo general veo el mundo que está bastante obsesionado con el sexo. Soy Alex, tengo 24 años, me dedico a la informática y también tengo un hobby que es la fotografía. Soy asexual. Ser asexual significa no sentir atracción sexual hacia ninguna persona.
A la gente asexual el cuerpo le funciona perfectamente. Puede tener o no tener sexo. Lo que no va a sentir nunca es la atracción sexual. Esa es la clave.
En mi caso puedo sentirme excitado a nivel fisiológico, pero es algo que no tiene nada que ver con lo que yo realmente sienta o piense. Mi orientación no define mi comportamiento, es decir, puedo masturbarme, puedo tener sexo, pero no dejaría de ser asexual. Me considero una persona extremadamente cariñosa. Yo creo que ambas de mis anteriores parejas pueden confirmar. Cansado de las típicas preguntas que me hacen en la entrevista, que suelen basarse en el comportamiento. Si tengo sexo, cuántas veces lo he tenido, si me masturbo, si alguna vez me he sentido atraído por un chico, o si algún día dejaría de ser asexual y me sentiría atraído por alguien.
¿Y cuáles suelen ser tus respuestas a estas preguntas?
Mis respuestas a esas preguntas suelen ser sinceras y consistir en que el sexo es algo que no estaba presente en mi vida, aunque hace años sí lo estaba muy presente casi a diario, y es algo que realmente me es indiferente. Es una actividad placentera, se puede decir hasta agradable, pero que no me parece más atractiva que, por ejemplo, ver una buena película.
Sono Alex, ho 24 anni, sono di Faenza, una città vicino a Bologna. Studio all'Università di Bologna antropologia, religioni e civiltà orientali, che è un corso di lettere e filosofia, e sono asessuale. Io personalmente non provo nulla, cioè non è schifo, non è fastidio, non è niente, è come giocare a briscola, come fare una passeggiata in centro, è una cosa neutra. E quindi perché sono asessuale? Perché mi chiedo, perché devo fare una cosa che non mi dà, cioè non ha nessun significato per me? A me interessa che quello che faccio nella mia vita abbia un significato, come per esempio la religione. È vero che guardo molto i precetti della Chiesa cattolica, perché credo che siano importanti a livello di salvezza personale della propria anima. Però questo non ha influito sulla mia sessualità, anzi sulla mia asessualità. Molte persone, per esempio, tendono a dire che io invece sia gay. Io diciamo che non mi do un'etichetta, io mi sento gay, mi sento etero, mi sento tutto, perché alla fine penso che siamo tutte persone che non vadano etichettate, no?
Era buena la carga, era buena la opción. Valencia, lo van trabando siempre a Valencia, solo el cuatro. ¡La puta madre, weón! Se viene el cambio. Michael Ríos. Es el contacto de Valencia que significa quedar en el piso. Y esta es la recreación. Levanta mucho el pie. Oh, padre nuestro, por adelante para la semana. Vamos. Sí, señor, minuto 36 de este segundo tiempo. Marco González, pie de izquierda, Marco González. ¡Gol! ¡Bien, pues! ¡Gol! ¡Gol! ¡Qué hermoso, weón! ¡Ay, Dios mío!
Bueno, cuando tenía como 14 años iba saliendo a un concierto de placebo y escuché a alguien hablando del tema, pero después no lo pesqué más, ¿cachai? Y hace como 3 años, estaba hablando con un amigo que es súper homofóbico, ¿cachai? Y me dijo, no, los homosexuales son lo peor, ¿cachai? Y yo le dije, ¿cómo eres de los asexuales? Y un día de pura curiosidad se me ocurrió buscar en Google, y me encontré con la página de AVEN, que se llama la organización que más grande, y empecé a leer lo que era. La principal definición de asexual es que no siento atracción sexual hacia otra persona, ¿cachai? Y de repente me sorprendí, dije, yo estoy ahí. Eso fue súper desagradable porque odio cuando tiene unos 15 años, bueno, hasta el día de hoy, ¿cachai? Todos están hablando del tema, ¿cachai? Qué rica esta mina, ¿cachai? O de sus perversiones, sus fantasías, ¿cachai? Echando la talla con los amigos, tomándose un copete, ¿cachai? Y yo me sentía súper incómodo y no tenía nada que decir, aparte no empecé a hacer porque todo el mundo lo hace, ¿cachai? Como que es lo que había que hacer, ¿cachai? Pero sabéis que no, yo me preguntaba, todos decían, no, que es la última chupada del mate, ¿cachai? Lo máximo, la máxima expresión de la buena onda. Y para mí no era nada, ¿cachai? Era como salir a correr, ¿cachai? Lo que piensa la gente es que uno no se puede enamorar, ¿cachai? Eso es lo primero que les viene a la mente, que no les gusta a nadie, ¿cachai? Cuando se lo empecé a decir a mis personas cercanas, primero me dijeron, no, es una etapa. No a todo el mundo le pasa, ¿cachai? Luego de repente hay gente que piensa que son muy impotentes. Le dije a un amigo, ¿cachai? Que él sabía que en ese tiempo yo estaba pololeando la cuestión, ¿cachai? Y le dije, ¿sabéis que hace como un año con la Polina que no pasa nada, ¿cachai? Pero me dijo, no, es una etapa. Y le dije, no, se ha sido desde que empezamos la relación, ¿cachai? Y ha sido un factor estresante. Yo al principio ya dije, lo voy a hacer por ella, ¿cachai? Como que me voy a sacrificar, ¿cachai? Pero ya al principio como que funcionó un poco, pero después ya notó que a mí no me interesa, que no me motivaba, ¿cachai? A ella le encantaba la cuestión, ¿cachai? O sea, uno puede, ¿cachai? Tener sexo como todo el mundo, ¿cachai? Pero no me interesa, ¿cachai? No me motiva, me aburre, de repente no me gusta, ¿cachai? Y tu pareja siente que a ti no te interesa, ¿cachai? Que no tomáis la iniciativa, que preferís ir a comer galletitas, ir al cine, ver una película, ¿cachai? Y que en eso sentís más un encuentro de amor, ¿cachai? Que en el sexo, porque para la otra persona, ¿cachai? El sexo es como una manifestación del amor, ¿cachai? De la relación de pareja. Para uno no. Sabéis que ahora en este momento ya decidí que no quiero pasarla más mal y no me atrevería a estar con una pareja sexual, ¿cachai? Pero ahí encontrar a alguien asexual, ¿cachai? Que me guste y que se dé una relación, lo veo bien difícil. Me gustaría, ¿cachai? Tener hijos, ¿cachai? Tener una familia y todo, ¿cachai? Pero por el momento me veo solo en el futuro.
Y a la persona a la que se refería a Cuca, la entrevistamos enseguida, él es Quique Escudero. Buenos días, Quique. Hola. Tiene 44 años, ha tenido varias parejas y sin embargo está convencido de que es asexual, es decir, que no tiene deseo erótico, ¿no?
Estrictamente por el acto sexual.
¿Eso excluye la masturbación?
No, lo que no excluye es la sensualidad es bien deseable, pero exclusivamente el acto sexual.
O sea, no rehuyes los besos, las caricias...
Y la compañía.
La compañía,
por favor.
Pero no quieres practicar el acto sexual.
Exactamente.
Y has tenido varias parejas.
Sí.
¿Ellas lo han entendido?
Nunca se puso de manifiesto. Yo tenía cierta falta de iniciativa a la hora de hacer el acto sexual, pero nunca se puso de manifiesto que entonces no tuve problemas con mis parejas, porque intentaba hacerlo lo mejor por ellas, no por mi deseo, sino por ellas.
O sea, tú tenías relaciones con ellas.
Sí,
no?
Por amor.
¿Lo aceptabas?
Exactamente.
Pero a disgusto.
Como un compromiso que tenía hacia ellas.
Bueno, es posible que más de una mujer diga, bueno, a mí me pasaba lo mismo, es decir, yo lo hacía porque él quería, o hombres, ¿no? Que digan, no, yo lo hago porque toca, pero no porque realmente tenga ganas. Lo que es complicado es que alguien lo diga tan abiertamente. Porque además el problema no es la pareja, te pasa con todas las mujeres, ¿no?
Sí, es con todas las mujeres, es el acto sexual el que no me llama.
¿Qué es lo que te repele del acto sexual? No. Si repelencia lo que te provoca, no sé exactamente qué es lo que te provoca.
Repeler nada, simplemente lo considero un trabajo como es cargar 10 kilos de la calle al 5º piso, que no me entusiasma el hacer ese trabajo. Si lo tengo que hacer, lo hago, pero no me entusiasma.
Es que, claro, Quique, me cuesta entenderte porque, en fin, vivimos en una sociedad tan sumamente erótica, es decir, se da tanto valor al sexo.
Claro, esa es la presión.
Se vende como un bien de consumo tan bueno, tan apetecible. Nos lo envuelven tan bien que encontrarme una persona que me diga que no disfruta nada del sexo, a mí no me había ocurrido nunca. Y menos siendo hombre.
El sexo está imbricado en toda la sociedad de una manera mediática total, es decir, está en todo.
En todo, en los anuncios, en la televisión.
Y de hecho, la peor consecuencia de ser asexual y de que ahora yo me esté desvelando como tal, es que es una posición risible. Es decir, que la gente no va a entender, es incomprensible.
Sí.
And say, it's actually quite interesting. A lot of asexual people kind of go through life not really believing that other people do experience sexual attraction. Then, I mean, that sounds kind of odd, but it's when they find AVEN or another asexual community, they say, ah, right, okay, so actually the concept of sexual attraction does exist. Other people who are not asexual do experience sexual attraction. People think of asexual people as very geeky, and that there are a lot of people who fit that stereotype. I mean, I personally am a mathematician, and there's actually a stereotype in the mathematical community that mathematicians are sort of asexual, but of course it's actually not true at all. I can see when somebody is attractive, both men and women, and I know when people have characteristics that other people say are sexy, because, you know, we get that a lot in the media or in popular culture. I personally don't feel anything that could be described as sexual attraction, but, you know, I can still recognise people's, say the beauty of people's features on an aesthetic level. Some asexual people have libido, some don't, and so there are certainly asexual people who masturbate and others who don't, that usually depending on whether they have a libido, but it doesn't always work that way. Yeah, masturbation is something I've tried, it's okay, not completely wild about it, but it's never made me question my sexuality, in the sense that I still don't experience sexual attraction.
I was very curious about sex, so I was having a lot of girlfriends, a lot of, you know, sexual activities, and over time it got sort of more and more extreme. The fetishes I'd explore, things like that, and the sexual side of them never really came up. It was just a thing to do. It was something they clearly wanted to do, so, you know, I'd go along with it. When I was having sex regularly in relationships, it would ultimately become sort of a game, almost a chore that I want to do efficiently. It wasn't something that I hated. It was just something that I found no joy in, you know, by itself. Pursuing sex in a way that you're not interested in it but trying to find some joy in it is pretty risky, and it's something that I feel like people should be talked to about, because if I was told that I don't have to enjoy it, I would not have done a lot of the things that I did. When I was realizing I was asexual, I did a whole bunch of things to try and figure out what's wrong with me or try and solve it. I did try, well, I mean, the past, 10 years have been me trying to find sexual activities I like, but that wasn't working either. I mean, the ideal situation is I meet an asexual and never have sex again, except maybe for kids or some other reason like that, but...
It's not because I'm afraid of rejection, like, I'm afraid they'll say no. It's because I'm afraid they'll say yes. Just imagine, you're sitting in the car with someone you've been crushing on for a while, and you're talking, she propositions you for sex. Now, as fucking hot as you believe she is, you have no interest whatsoever in taking her up on that offer. You don't even want to see her naked. That's what I live every day. So imagine this, gays and lesbians. You guys can probably understand me on this. Imagine you're young and you're with someone of the opposite sex, and you don't know you're gay or lesbian yet. That hasn't really hit you yet. You only find out, you only get that epiphany right in the middle of intercourse with that other person. It's kind of awkward, don't you think? But I consider myself hetero-romantic. I'm romantically and aesthetically attracted to women. I just don't want to have sex with them. And I really, this may sound weird, but I really don't want to see them naked either. Let's look at it this way. So you see a painting, a really lovely, absolutely stunning painting. You want to take this painting home and cherish it forever. You don't necessarily want to fuck the painting.
Yeah, we are just like the weirdest people ever. And that's because society has always over-sexualized everything. So, if you're not having sex and you're not in a relationship, you are weird. And I have a really hard time actually making friends and finding people who understand me because everyone thinks I'm weird. And as soon as I tell people that I'm asexual, they look at me like I'm an alien and like snakes just popped out of my head and that I like a bajillion inches and I am now stomping all over the city like Godzilla and breathing fire out of my mouth, which is sort of how I visualize them seeing me in my head. I'm not sure if that's actually how they see me, but who knows. Long story short, so every time like I meet people, like I'm always like really hesitant to tell them that I'm ace. And that's because as soon as I tell people that I'm ace, they look at me like I'm really weird. And you can just tell that they're like, don't understand, like, how do people not want to have sex? How do people not feel attraction to someone else? And for me, I'm also aromantic, so I'm not romantically attracted to people either. Of course, that like freaks people out even more, and they're like, what do you mean, like, you don't like people? Like, that's so weird. In 6th grade, when the boy-girl party started, I was just so confused as to what the big deal was about boy-girl parties. I was like, well, I don't understand, because boys and girls can be friends with each other. It doesn't make any sense to me that boys and girls can't hang out or have sleepovers, because it didn't really click in my head that people were actually starting to form sexual feelings towards other people based on how someone looks. Also during this year, we had this program called Operation Keepsake, hashtag Catholic School Problems, and Operation Keepsake was a program that would come in and talk about sex, and it would talk about sex and relationships and everything that would kind of go into relationship, from holding hands to kissing to making out, and what level you would want to stop at, and then it would talk more about sex and pregnancies and how it relates to the Catholic faith. This class sort of showed a little bit of light to me into this world of what people were feeling who were not asexual. And at that time, I did not know what the term was. I just thought that something was wrong with me. I honestly was like, what is wrong with me? Why don't I understand what other people feel? People would always just say, just wait, it takes time to even know anything about yourself, or it just takes time. When you get older, you just haven't met the right one yet. So when I'm doing Operation Keepsake, there is this day that they had someone come in, and on the chalkboard, it was to list how far you would go with someone else. It started on the bottom of the list that said holding hands, and at the top of the list, it said making out. We had to go around the room, and everyone had to be unafraid to say what they were thinking and just be honest with themselves. And it finally gets to me. The instructor for Operation Keepsake points to holding hands, and she's like, is this how far you would go, or would you do something else? And I said, no. So she moves the pointer up to hugging, and she's pointing to hugging, and she's like, would you stop at hugging? And I said, no. So she moves it up more, and I was like, you're going in the wrong direction, because I didn't even feel comfortable with holding hands. So she finally pointed the pointer back down to holding hands, and she was like, so you would stop at holding hands? And I said, no. I was like, lower. And she was like, there's nothing below holding hands. And I said, exactly. And she was like, oh, well, you're still young. Like, you'll realize that when you get to high school, you'll want to be kissing and hugging and smooching and everything else. So it's important that you learn about it now, even though you're not interested in it. So finally, 8th grade comes around. You know, the crushes are starting to get a little bit more in depth. People are finally kissing, going to those boys and girl parties, and I would be invited to like a couple, but not really, because no one actually liked me at all in middle school. Yeah, I was the outcast and the loser and the one who everyone always picked on because I was asexual, and everyone thought I was just so weird because I did not find anyone sexually attractive. Finally, in high school, we have all these guest speakers that are coming in and talking about sex. And then we have our religion classes talking about sex. And everyone is always talking about sex. Sex, sex, sex. Sex is everywhere. For someone who's asexual, you just feel so claustrophobic and so confused because you don't understand why it's such a big deal or why people are making such a big deal out of it. You're like, okay, people have sex, but I don't really get it. Like, I'm not into that. I was sitting in class one day and we were talking about love, and it got around to me and they were like, just be honest. Talk about what you feel about love. And I said, I don't really understand love. I don't get love. I mean, I love my parents and I love my family members, and I feel an emotional attachment to things and people, but not in the way that I would ever want to be in a relationship with someone. So I guess I just don't believe in love. I don't believe in romantic love. I don't believe in romance at all. And of course, my religion teacher thought that I was like mentally disturbed and crazy. So she actually sent me to the guidance counselor with the paper that I wrote on my honest thoughts about love and relationships. And the guidance counselor sat me down with my parents and was like, you know, we're really concerned about Anthony because he just doesn't seem very interested in what the other kids are interested in. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not interested in being a horny teenager. I guess that makes me the one that's wrong, or in the wrong. But people are not willing to accept if someone's asexual. And I don't get that because we're literally like the most non-threatening people in the world. I don't understand. But they don't like us. So here's what happened. I was working at my job and doing what I was supposed to do, and a customer came up to me and he was like, hey, that's a really awesome sweater that you're wearing. And I was like, thank you, I guess. And he's, hey, so I am actually from out of the area, and I'm in the area scouting for locations and people because I am filming an independent movie and I'm looking for someone to star in it, and I think you would be the perfect person to be in this movie. And I was like, oh wow, that's really cool. Like, for a while I was sort of like taken by this. I was like, that's awesome, like, I'm gonna be famous. And then he was like, so when do you get off tonight? And I was like, late, which is always a good answer if someone is like super sketchy. So I was just like, really late tonight, like we closed really late tonight. He's like, oh, okay, well, I really want to go out and get a bite to eat with you, so just let me know. He's like, here, give me your phone number and I'll text you. And this is where it started to get like a little weird, and I was just like, I don't think so, like, that's definitely not gonna happen. Like, I'm definitely not giving you my phone number, like, I don't even know you. And at first, like, it seemed like he was kind of cool, but then he started to get like super like nervous and like pacey and stuff, so it just made me feel like a little strange and a little weird. So definitely don't give your number to people like this. So anyway, I was like, no thank you, like, sorry, but you know, have a good rest of your day. And then he left, and then he came back. He was like, hey, like, I know I'm being like really pushy and stuff, but like I was thinking that, like, you know, it's $40, it's all under the table, and you can make $40 an hour all under the table, and it's gonna be a really great position for you. I really think I really want you to be in this movie. And I was like, okay, like, cool, like, thanks so much. Please leave me alone. Like, you're really creeping me out right now. And then he like comes back again, and he's like, how about I just write down all of my contact information for you so you can text me? And I was like, well, how about I just email you? And he's like, well, I don't really have email capabilities right now. Okay, so first of all, I've worked in entertainment. I've interned in entertainment. Like, entertainment is my thing. If you are in the entertainment business, you have an email. I don't care who you are. I've been casted in other movies before, and it's always through like a casting agency, and those people always have emails, and they always email you and you always email them. And so that's also sort of like a red flag that kind of was like, this is a little weird now. So he like wrote down his contact information. So he like writes this down on a piece of paper. He like shoves it on my register, and he's like, make sure to contact me, yo. Like, there's the definite possibility that this person could be legit. Like, I'm not gonna say that maybe it is an opportunity to film an independent film, whatever. The fact that you don't have an email, number one, that's really weird. Everyone has an email. Everyone. Even like a 92-year-old grandma. Anyway, so I told my bosses like everything that happened, and then they're like, Anthony, this guy was trying to get you to be in a porn movie. That is my story about how I was almost casted in a porn movie. So you've probably heard those inspirational stories about some really good-looking person who's working in a retail store, and all of a sudden some scout comes in and says, hey, I think you would be the perfect person to be a supermodel or to be the star of my next greatest movie. Well, I sort of thought that that is what was going to happen to me. Turns out, when this person approached me, they weren't asking for me to be in some awesome Hollywood movie. They were asking for me to be in porn. Yes, porn. No. So, what you mean to tell me is that you've never ever wanted to be in a relationship with anyone before, and you've never found anyone attractive? I don't understand, because you have to fit in within these three things. I don't know, Doc. I guess it's just always sort of been this way. We need to put you on medicine is what we need to do. We need to put you on medicine so we can make you normal, and then we can figure out what's wrong with you. I don't know what to put. I've never heard of the term asexual before. No, I'm fully aware that he doesn't fit into any of the categories described. I don't know what's wrong with him. There has to be something wrong with him, right? We need to abort the mission right now, everybody. We have a code red. This person does not fit into the categories that are socially acceptable by any standards. This person is not normal. They are not sane. They may be armed and dangerous. Everyone proceed with caution.
When people say that your sexuality is a choice, I think that emphasizes the fact it's not a choice. You know, I don't choose to be asexual. I'm going to get emotional here because my sexuality is, I perceive it as such a bad thing, and I really dislike it, but it causes so many problems for me.
And if you've watched my depression video, my video when I experienced, told you about my depression, one of the reasons why I wanted to, can't believe I'm saying this, but one of the reasons why I wanted to end my life was because of my sexuality. Because I wasn't normal. So if that's the case, how does that make that a choice? How does making... of course it's not a freaking choice. I feel that it's going to cause so many problems in the future for me in terms of sex, kids, and kids is my main anxiety about the future, because I want to be a primary school teacher, I love kids, and I would absolutely love kids of my own. So freaking much. And people have made assumptions that asexuals can't love. And the reason for that is because, sex can be referred to as making love, and in Western society, and because asexuals don't have this sexual desire or sexual attraction, they believe that some certain individuals believe that asexuals can't love. I don't understand why people believe that you need sex to love. It really touched me in a way that it made me sad, man. And wow, and it really got me thinking.
Hi, I'm asexual. I don't mind sex, but if I never had sex, I wouldn't be upset. I'd be happy and oh, whatever. Well, I basically found out that I was asexual in my most recent relationship. It all came about when my current girlfriend, who I want to marry, take me to church, I'll worship like a dog at the shrine of your lies. I'll tell you my sins so you can sharpen your knife. Offer me that deathless death, oh good God, let me give you my life. Realize that I never do anything involving sexual things. I'm not meaning sex-wise, I'm meaning anything. I didn't really touch her much, I didn't give her a lot of affection, I would hardly even kiss. That's how bad it is. I mean, I will kiss, but that's even part of it. I really don't think of it, put it that way. It's not first nature, most guys, they'll be they see a girl and it's ooh, I like that. I want to get with her, I want to kiss her. Now, I do think of some romantic kind of things, but they're not all kissing. They'd be I want to be with her, be next to her, giving her gifts and those kind of things. But it's not want to feel her out. She would always ask me, why don't you do anything with me? Do you love me? Of course I love you. You don't ever touch me. You don't ever think sexual around me. And she's I'm not even meaning sex-wise. Oh, again, this hurts.
Oh.
I didn't have my first girlfriend until the end maybe of my freshman year. And even then it was kind of a friend. I didn't kiss her until senior year. And I think she initiated that. I also know this because I've been with girls, I've also tried guys, and everything. Nothing. Wasn't interested in any of it. So that leaves what? Asexual!
My lover's got humor. She's a giggle at a funeral. Knows everybody's disapproval. I should've worshipped her sooner.
How am I doing now to make this better? Or where is my relationship now? Where is it going to? Am I still with her? Yes. We are still together, but still working through it. It's kind of hard because, I'm not the horrible, way out in left field, no, I don't want to do anything with you. So I am kind of loving, but it is a struggle. It's not the easiest thing to deal with. Because before, I didn't care, it was just me, whatever, I don't have to have a thing. But when you add another actual person you actually love into the picture, it becomes very hard. I mean, it might not seem hard for me because I don't care, but to see how it hurts them because they don't have any affection or love. From what little bit I do know about women, they have to have affection. Men, their love is through physical. I'm not really physical, but you know, the general man. Women are emotional. So if they don't have any kind of love, if they don't have any affection, emotional things, they feel like they're left out. And being asexual, that kills it. They have no love feeling, and there's many times that she says, "Do you love me? You know I love you." Well, you don't do anything. Sorry, I'm asexual.
I was born sick, but I love it. Command me to be well. Amen. Amen. Amen.
So that's the difficult part of it. But we are working on it. I'm trying to branch out a little more and try to be more thinking, to always put in mind, hey, she needs affection, give it to her, and kind of put myself to make myself be that way because, yes, I do want to have sex. I do want to love her and show her how much I love her and give all my affection to her, or a child for that matter. Because if you don't give it to your wife and we end up having a child needs more affection than anything else. And yes, it's not sexual, but still, even if you don't have any affection for your own wife, even like kisses or showing them love or any kind of affection, your child's not going to get it, and it's going to be a neglected child, and it's all mother raised, and dad's like, why doesn't daddy love me? And you can't really say, hey, he's asexual, so leave him alone. That child doesn't understand that. So, it's just difficult. But I'm working through it. So, that's my story. That's me and how I found out who I am today, and finally accepting it. I am asexual, and don't be afraid to admit it, because it'll hurt you in the long run even more.
Hace 2 días una persona me escribió y yo pensaba que esto no ocurría. No ocurría.
A ver.
Pero sí se da. Que sí se da. Sí se da y es fuerte. Es una carta que él me ha enviado. Y quiero leerles como sigue. Soy un hombre de 44 años y nunca me he casado. Mi familia me presiona al presentarme amigas y he salido con algunas de las que he conocido, pero no me siento listo para unirme a una mujer. Algunos han llegado a decir que soy gay, pero tampoco me llama la atención los hombres. Simplemente soy feliz solo. Usted dijo en su programa que Dios hizo al hombre y a la mujer para estar juntos. Y eso es lo que me motiva a escribirle. Pero ¿qué hay con los que no quieren estar con nadie? Por favor, no diga mi nombre. Fíjate, la mayoría de las personas, cuando ven a alguien adulto que no tiene pareja, pues a veces empiezan a decir, bueno, ¿qué será? ¿Será que no le gustan los hombres? Si es mujer, no le gustan los hombres o no le gustan las mujeres. Empiezan rápido a ver si tiene un amigo, pero hay casos de gente que no quieren estar con nadie. Hay casos de gente incluso que le tienen miedo a una relación. Hay otros casos de gente que simplemente dicen, quiero estar solo. De hecho, tú no, por ejemplo, en mi familia, yo conozco varias personas que no son ni gay ni lesbianas, porque hay mujeres, hombres, no son ni gay ni lesbianas, que quieren estar solos, simplemente son felices así, no se sienten como para estar en una relación. En tu familia hay gente así, Héctor Samuel.
Pues fíjate, sí, nada, pero yo voy a ir más allá. Yo, escuchándote, yo me identifico con esas palabras que indica el caballero. No es mi caso, porque yo sí, ¿verdad? Según sea la voluntad del Señor, pues espero en algún momento tener mi pareja y poderme casar y todo eso, ¿verdad? Con la mujer que el Señor tenga para mí. Pero me identifico en el sentido de que yo soy una persona de que no tiene problema quedándose solo. Y también me han hecho esos comentarios, o sea que por eso también me identifico. O sea, Sammy, pero ¿por qué tú no tienes novia? ¿Por qué tú no procuras buscarte una amiguita? ¿No tienes alguien por ahí que te guste? Y yo, no, mira, yo estoy enfocado en mis estudios, en mi trabajo, en mis asuntos. No es porque no quiera, sino porque no me hace falta. O sea, en su momento se dará, pero si no es el momento, pues no es el momento y tampoco es que lo esté buscando así desesperadamente. O sea, hay gente así, o sea, habemos gente de que no tenemos ningún problema con estar solo y de hecho yo creo que es hasta saludable aprender a estar solo y no estar dependiendo de otras personas.
Hi, my name's Robin Dibbin, I'm 24 years old and I am asexual. The definition of an asexual person is someone who experiences no sexual desire or attraction. So I've never been turned on by another person and it's never entered my head to want to have sex with anyone. Growing up, I was not worried about not experiencing these feelings. I just thought that I hadn't met the right person yet, and that's what everyone kept saying, and that's what society expects you to think. So I just thought it's going to happen one day. But then when my peers and friends started saying that they were having sex and stuff like that, then it kind of, I thought that was really strange. I thought it was sort of too young to be doing it, and it didn't sit comfortably with me. I don't feel I'm missing out, and every ace person will say the same thing normally, because it was never there in the first place. I'm living life and embracing who I am.
The only heaven I'll be sent to. Yep, heaven I'll be sent. Take me to church, I'll worship like a dog. Take me to church, I'll worship like a dog at the shrine of your lies. Calm it down. I can tell you my sins so you can show them. Take me to church, I'll worship like a dog at the shrine of your lies. I'll tell you my sins so you can sharpen your knife. Offer me that deathless death of good God. Let me give you my life. Yeah, yo. Did you snort? You know the piano? You go boom, boom. You know, like you can make different sounds. Yeah.